You are now tuned in to the Windy City Benders podcast. This is WCBP.
All right, it's another edition of the WCB podcast, episode 197. It's Jarom, it's Tanner. What's up, bud?
Not much, man. Just enjoying hockey, you know.
Hockey season is here.
It's here.
It's beautiful. It is great having games on almost every day, except we got just thrown in, and then Sunday was a no games, which sucked. But we are in the thick of it once again. Blackhawks have had 3 games so far, and I think people are going to be pleasantly, or not pleasant. I don't know. We'll touch on that too, because I don't know how people feel about the Blackhawks right now, and we're going to talk about that. So let's just get into Hawks talk real quick here. First news, housekeeping here. Vlasic sent down to Rockford. Apparently reason he wasn't playing with the big club was because he blocked a shot or something in practice and was injured. That's what somebody said. I never saw any confirmation on that though, so take that for what it is. But him going down to Rockford, I think it's too late. He should have been down there for a Rockford season opener. No.
I don't really think it matters. I mean, like we keep saying, like get the more ice time down in Rockford, but it's like once you have enough guys down there, it's like you're not going to be getting like first time minutes for a lot of these guys. Like I'm sure you can rotate them and give them about like pretty equal minutes, because I don't know if you're going to really have anybody that like Seth Jones, who's getting like probably 24 minutes plus like a night, like not going to have anybody doing that in Rockford. I would assume you'd want to just kind of evenly disperse the minutes amongst the youngsters, but
Rockford definitely needs D though. They won the first game 5-4 in overtime, but they had to come back. They were down, I think 4-1 at one point in that game, and then they got shut out 4-0 their second game.
Oh, damn.
They definitely need some defense on that end there. So with how that's really all the news I think that came out regarding roster moves and anything like that. So let's just take a look real quick at the hockey that was played.
Yeah.
Back-to-back years, the Chicago Blackhawks opened their season off on the road in Colorado. This time it was against the defending Stanley Cup champion Colorado Avalanche, not just the Colorado Avalanche. Highlight for me, honestly, happened before the game even started, was Jack Johnson was on the bench by himself during the whole ceremony, banner raising ceremony, and then Colorado called him over to join them as the banner was being raised. I thought that was so cool that
he was all giddy watching the video on the bench.
He was like a little kid. And what's really cool too is he did an interview with the new Hawks play-by-play guy. Was it Chris Fosters, and he was saying that Taves actually said, hey, if you want it, the team's with you, we'll be on the bench with you during the ceremony, so you don't have to sit there alone, kind of thing too. And he's like, no, go focus. He goes, I know all that. So he's like, it's just kind of, that's one little thing too that kind of shows like what kind of guy Taves is and what everybody talks about. Oh, his stats, but like stuff like that, the leadership and being that leader in the locker room is stuff that you just doesn't show up on the score sheet.
Yeah.
Then
too bad.
Yeah, then the game gets going and Hawks go down 1-0. About halfway through, I mean, they played pretty decent the first 10 minutes or so. They're holding Colorado to their own. Tagliano gets on the board first for Colorado, and then Hawks go on a power play, which we all dread usually, but Hawks score on the first power play of the season. And who puts it in? The captain, baby. Jonathan Toews scores the first goal for the Chicago Blackhawks of the 22-23 season. And he was fucking pumped. It was backdoor beauty.
Yeah, I mean, it was a wide open fucking net. The whole the way the whole play went down was pretty great. It was just Athanasio I don't remember if he did like a little, just spun back around in the near the corner going towards the net, but just threw it back to Kurashev, and then Kurashev just had the widest lane, just cross the across the top of the circles, like between the top of the circles to mid part of the circles, and Taves just had a wide open net. And like, all right, like it couldn't have looked any easier. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was great to see Tays on the board that quick. It took him 26 games, I believe, last year to get his first goal of the season. So getting to game one is clutch. After that, it just Colorado goes on a 3-0 run. Funny fact about that, besides the first goal of the game, every single goal scored this game was a power play goal.
Yeah, it was brutal. How many penalties did the Hawks end up having? It was
really
6 penalties.
Yeah.
And Evelyn scored on 4 of those. I think that's one of the things we kind of hinted on before the season was just like if they want to stay in these games close, like they're gonna need to stay out of the box. But the Hawks, we also said, could have a pretty dangerous power play, and they went on and went 2 for 3 on the power play as well. So
yeah, Max Domi too gets on the board with the power play, his first. That's another guy that I think he really needed to get off to a hot start and get that first one out of the way and just let it go.
And it was a beauty too. It was just skating hard to the net, and Tyler Johnson just feeds him, and he just gets a little stick on it and goes far side, and it's like, okay, I can get used to that. And I mean, it's hard enough. Like you're playing the Stanley Cup, like defending Stanley Cup champions, and like who's expected to basically make it all the way again. Like they're like
people already pencil him as a repeat.
Yeah, and we're kind of penciled in as one of the last place teams. So having majority of these goals be on the power play against and for is like it wasn't bad because 5-on-5 they really stuck with them.
And talk about 5-on-5. So Peter Mrazek played this game for the Hawks. He faced 35 shots.
Yeah.
He faced 35 shots. He saved 30 of them. He went 24 for 25, 5-on-5.
Yeah.
Like he was playing great hockey.
It's not even the fact that the 4 of those were power play goals. It's also 4 of them were tip-ins.
Yeah.
Where it's like, what are you going to do about that, man? Like it's impossible to stop sometimes because you change his direction at the last second. There's nothing you can do. He played extremely solid, and I was very surprised. It was kind of neat to see, like, hey, like we'll be able to stick in these games. Like this guy's gonna come out here and play like this because even as we go into like the next game, like he's got great stats right now at even strength. Like as long as the Hawks stay out of the box, like they're gonna be in these games close because he's been making monster saves.
Yeah, there was a
ton of saves that he made that I was like, holy shit, all right. And I think that I don't know, maybe he likes it. I always loved like just making monster saves and just being like, oh, I'm in the zone now. Like you can do whatever you want. Like if it's gonna be me, it has to be like perfect fucking.
He probably does feed off of stuff like that too. And I also think that he's got to have a chip on his shoulder coming into the season. He was traded for nothing.
Yeah,
like
he was traded with a first just for a second rounder.
Yeah, just to get obviously that we know the reason why for that was it was a cap clear thing. But it's like still, it's like you're gonna tell me you're gonna go into your next season and just be like, oh well, whatever, it is what it is. Like, no, you're gonna come in pissed off. It's the same thing with Domi and Anthony. Like these are guys that theoretically should be signing long-term deals and better contracts, and they need to prove themselves. So they got that little chip on their shoulder.
And that's why it's nice to see that all of those guys played very well in the first game. Athanasiou and Domi both get points in their first game as Hawks. Mrazek puts up a pretty solid game. I mean, there's not much more you can ask for from guys that you likely want to trade either this season or next when it comes to Mrazek next season, probably. But like these two guys, if they can keep that going, like that'd be fantastic.
And here was something too, a stat from this game that is awesome. And it was something that really was an issue for this team the past couple of years is the faceoff percentage. Hawks won 61% of the faceoffs in this game. Taves finished with 71% win. Domi with 58. I think Taves was like 11 for 14 was his faceoffs or something like that, or close to that. It was overall such a great game from like the fundamentals, like small things. And speaking of Taves too, again, he led the team with shots on goals with 3. And I know you're going to say, oh, that's not a lot. I mean, well, the team only put 17 shots on goal that game.
Holy I just am now looking at the stats, and I didn't realize it, but Seth Jones was credited with 8 hits during that game.
33 hits for the Hawks. They out-hit the team. I think
that's Luke Richardson's plan, man. He wants them to be a pain in the fucking ass, and you can see like they maybe went a little too aggressive, and that's why they took so many penalties. But like they really took it to Colorado, and when it was 5-on-5, there wasn't anything. They didn't give them shit. Except, I mean, it's because Mrazek did save their ass like a bunch of times, but it was good.
They held their own, and like we said before going into the season, it's like all we ask is not to get completely blown out every single game.
Yeah.
Make it interesting, play tough, make the team earn everything they get against us. And one game in, I think they did that. I think they proved it. I mean, you let up.
The score doesn't reflect how well they played because of just how many power play goals it was.
And the type of goals they were scored, like you mentioned too. It's just a completely different game if it's if you don't have that.
All in all, just like I think, I mean, Mrazek was like player of the game for me because he he played great, and like 5 goals against doesn't tell the story of like what actually went down on the ice.
Yeah, definitely 100%. Mrazek was the player of the game. Going on to the second of the back-to-back, they moved over to Vegas, and this was an interesting one for me because I didn't know. I mean, don't know what Vegas is yet. Like they have the potential to be really good, but they also have the potential to be really bad. And the Hawks came out much better this game. They 100% took lessons from Colorado and adapted it to this game against Vegas. I'm gonna pull something up here.
Much more disciplined this game with only 3 penalties.
And it took sorry, I have it written down here. I just gotta find where I wrote it down.
They also threw the body a lot this game too. 41 hits. It's like I like when teams are aggressive like that, especially when you're not going to be the most skilled team. Like, don't just lay over and die, and like you're going and playing that body every single time, every single chance that you get. This is another one where it's like I thought our goaltending tandem was going to be atrocious, and then what do you know? Alex Stalock, fucking 36 saves on 37 shots. He's insanely aggressive.
He looks like
he's so out of place sometimes, and I'm just like, what is fucking happening? But it's just getting done. I love how much he plays the puck. He's so comfortable with doing that, but like it helps that I think he is like a bigger fucking guy too.
Yeah, I mean, and this was
he's only 5'11". Why does he seem like he's like 6'4"?
There's a big man game.
Yeah, geez.
But like he was a feel good story too. Like, we had Jack Johnson feel good story before. He is a feel good story because he only had 1 NHL start in the last like 2 years or something like that. There was concerns he was ever going to play hockey again because of side effects from having COVID and all that. So getting back out there, getting another shot at the NHL, coming into Vegas against let's call him playoff contender team.
Yeah.
And stops 36 of 37. That's unreal. In the set, so real quick, the stat that I was looking for, talking about the penalties, it took them well over halfway through the third, or halfway through the game before the Hawks took their first penalty. So they definitely learned from there. They adjusted the offense.
Their first game experience on the penalty kill.
Yeah, they also adjusted their offense where they actually outshot Vegas in the first period 10-9. Through 2 periods, they had more shots on goal than they did the entire first game against Colorado. So picking up what they need to fix and adjusting on the fly. And yeah, I thought that was really good too. And then speaking of hits again, they out hit Vegas 41 to what was it, 20? Yeah, 20.
Yeah. And in another game where the Hawks are, I mean, it's just a percentage or two, but they're winning more faceoffs than they're losing. Like, you're going out there, Taze is getting 55%, Domi's 57%.
And that's huge.
Yeah, I mean, if those are going to be your top 2 lines and top 2 center, it's like you're controlling the play like off the bat. Like, that's going to be way helpful, especially since your team's not going to be doing too much offense typically. But especially against a team like Vegas, who is going to be really hungry. They just missed the playoffs last year, and it's their own fucking fault for not scoring a shootout goal. And So they actually, this is probably their first season that they really have something to prove. Like they were going into last season as playoff favorites, and then they picked up Jack Eichel and were cup favorites and completely missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, so this team's hungry, and the Hawks played them great. I mean, they didn't come away with a goal, but they didn't get blown out. Like, and goes back into saying like what the Hawks goaltending might be just looking pretty solid right now. I don't know how, but
yeah,
okay.
and it's really gonna come when we talk about San Jose game, but still, like, they're buying into what Coach Richardson's putting out there, and that is what's key right there too, because 90% of this roster isn't going to be on this team when it comes time for this team to contend again. But you start building that atmosphere of this is what Blackhawks hockey is. It's going to set the tone for the future. And I feel through two games from what we talked about and through 3 games for what we've seen so far, I feel confident that he's the guy to run this team.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm very excited.
I'm very happy that he is the head coach. I know we were upset that they didn't go for like, a sexy coach, like Trotz wasn't available or wasn't coaching or stuff like that. But it's like hearing the stuff in the offseason about players want to play for him.
Yeah, he's like also was like the most deserving non-head coach for a head coaching position too.
And then seeing what he's put on the ice so far through 3 games, like, God, I'm ready to run through a wall for this guy, and I'm not even a fucking player. I'm just a goddamn fan.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Let's
go going into San Jose though.
San
How about
Jose
getting a first dub of the season much earlier than last year?
Oh yeah, it was something had to give. You had an 0-2 Chicago Blackhawks, 0-3 San Jose Sharks. Sharks coming off of I think they blew a lead too the night before to Carolina, so they had to be
that's rough.
A little hungry there. And the first 10 minutes,
that's why they weren't playing with Reimer, right?
Yeah,
Kokkinen in that. Yeah.
The first half of the first period was all Chicago. They were just all over San Jose. They just couldn't get one past Kokkinen. Then the second half, it was like talk about one end versus the other end. Like you got both typical, like what could have happened in the first period by both ends. Blackhawks were taking control of the first half, and then San Jose came in the second half, and then I was like, fuck, this is gonna be a long game.
Yeah.
Especially letting them the vintage Chicago Blackhawks goal with 30 seconds left in the period.
Also the fact that goal from Erik Karlsson goes off of Seth Jones. I don't know if I've ever really paid attention as much as seen somebody put the puck in their own net on accident as Seth Jones. I swear to God, last season he probably poked in or went off his skate like 4 to 5 times, and then he's off to a hot start this season. He's already got 1, and it's just because it goes off his skate, and it's just I don't know how unlucky he is, but he does have like the highest percentage chance of that possibly happening to him, because in game 1 he played 25 minutes, in game 2 he played 27 minutes. And then this game he played 24. So he's out there the most. He's probably in front of the net the most. But it's just wild to me that the puck just finds him, tips off of him, and then finds its way into the net as often as it does.
He's the Dice of the Chicago Blackhawks. We always have the joke that Dice always puts at least 1 in on Potes every single game.
Jesus. It's so crazy. After that though, second period. It's a completely different game, bud.
Blackhawks get on the board with Jonathan Taves, little mini breakaway, which he almost fucked it up. Just squeezes it in there.
Also, the fact that Tyler Johnson held that puck in the zone and then cruised it right across the blue line to him, just out of reach of the defenseman, so that he just got that free little breakaway. I was like, oh shit, okay, all right, I'm all about it. Hawks are in the game. Sounds great. And then the Hawks go and take some fucking penalties.
They take a penalty. No! Yeah, take a penalty. Sam Lafferty and Jason Dickinson.
Apparently should be like best bros now. Jason Dickinson's first game as a Blackhawk as well.
Finally got his visa all worked out. Gets out there. And boom, talk about two fucking firecrackers. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Clear the puck in the zone. Dickinson goes in the corner, just fucking hammers the guy, throws the puck in front. Lafferty's just sitting there, puts it away.
Yeah.
Tie
Well,
game.
that was the second one. Because the first one
Didn't they both they the exact same play?
It was pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
I think Lafferty chased the first one down, passed it out to Dickinson. Dickinson takes the shot. Lafferty went to the front of the net instead of just fucking watching the play happen. Wide open net.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, cool.
But
does
what
it again, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now?
Yeah, what the Sharks fucked up there was they had the 5-on-4 delayed penalty, and they ran off 40 seconds.
They didn't touch it. They didn't let the Hawks touch it.
Yeah, they kept going for it. It's like, I know it's NHL hockey, but fuck, like I was taught you got a 5-on-4 and then delayed penalty. You fucking dump that puck in and you give it to them, and so you get the 5-on-3. I don't care if you're an NHL team or not. Like, take advantage of the 5-on-3.
Yeah, don't have the panic 6-on-4. As soon as they touch it, oh, okay, play's dead. Play 5-on-3. It doesn't make sense. But yeah, I mean, cool for us.
Yeah. So 2 shorthanded goals within 2 minutes and 5 seconds?
Just under 2 minutes.
Something like that.
Just under 2 minutes. Love it. Hawks go. I didn't expect them to come out of that period with the lead, especially after the way the first period ended.
Oh, yeah.
That's the difference between Hawks hockey this year and Hawks hockey last year, I think, because after the Hawks give up stuff like that in the first period last year, it's just kind of like a dead fish. Okay, I guess we'll just play the rest of this one out.
Oxygen just gets sucked out of the building, and it's over. Third period, Hawks pick up right where they're at. This is what I love. Hawks lose the draw in the defensive zone. Tyler Johnson lays out, blocks the shot from the point. Puck bounces right up to Taylor Raddysh, who goes on for a breakaway and puts it in the net.
A little forehand backhand. How do you do?
Yeah, how do you do, bud? And then to wrap it up, Jason Dickinson gets on the board with his first as a Blackhawk.
What a snipe, too.
Yeah, holy shit.
What a snipe. And I love the fact that Lafferty assisted on his goal as well.
So both of them, both
3-point nights for the two of them. Are you kidding me? Who would have expected that at all?
And it came out too before the game. We totally forgot to talk about this, that apparently Dickinson was playing with a broken hand last year and he didn't even realize it. How the fuck does that happen?
I don't know. I don't know. How do you not realize, hey, my hand feels fucking weird? So Jason Dickinson, not the smartest guy, but puts out 3 points in his first Hawks game. I'm all about it, man. Plus the fact that we traded Stillman for him, and we got a second rounder for him. Hey, man, just continue to do well.
Rivalry.
It's gonna look so bad on Vancouver's end.
So I liked what you did with the first game, giving out a player of the game. I'm giving a player of the game for this one with Tyler Johnson. Between his assist on the Taves goal, the sacrifice in the body for the second assist of the game. On top of that, he put up 4 hits through the game. He was running at guys, not letting any easy plays happen, and 2 block shots, a takeaway. And I just think he, for the first time, I don't even know how long, even before he was still in Tampa, that was the first time I've seen Tyler Johnson play like Tyler Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's been battling a lot of injuries, and he had a great game. But I don't know how you can't say Lafferty, or I think Jason Dickinson would get the game player of the game for me, because the two of them together it was great. But I just would say Jason Dickinson's goal was just so nasty compared to Lafferty's little just pop-ins in front of the net.
Oh no, 100%. Yeah, I just figured low picking fruit, man. I knew you were gonna go for that one. So Tyler Johnson there. Great game all around.
Another good game from Mrazek as well. I mean, after the first period, shut it down and had a good save percentage, 9-2-3, only 2 goals against, 26 shots. And dare I say it, Hawks are looking good through 3 games. They look like they were improving from game 1 to game 3.
They're definitely learning.
But the teams that they played, the teams that they faced, surely went down in quality. as in expectations wise.
Yeah.
But if they're going to be in tight with teams like Vegas, who are going to be pushing for playoffs, those are going to be really exciting games. If they're going to be possibly winning a lot of these games against like bottom feeding teams like San Jose is, I mean, we're probably not going to be looking at like being dead last in league, but like, fuck, like we might have some great offensive games like this. And then if they're just going to be able to stick with teams like Colorado, like those are going to be exciting games as well. Like, sure, they might like give up some goals on the penalty kill, but I think it's going to be like a kind of exciting hockey to watch, like no matter who we're playing against.
So that brings me to my question about the Hawks fans. I kind of talked about it before we started. Like, what do you want from this team? Like,
I want them to be like really bad,
right? But it's like,
but
so
I don't know if like that. I don't know if they're going to be able to keep this up the whole season because
no,
it is
100%
such
not.
a hard nosed way to play hockey that like some guys are going to end up getting injured, and there's going to be a lot of time missed from like some guys that are playing well right now. Like,
Right.
but that's going to get a lot of people into the rotation, so the younger guys are going to get some ice time.
I just don't know what the fan base wants, because after they lose their games, this is ridiculous. This team needs to, be competitive. They need to win. Like, this is ridiculous. Then they win against the Sharks. Well, you just fucked up getting Connor Bedard. You just fucked this whole season up and all this it's like,
yeah, those 2 points that we just got. Yeah.
what are you talking about? Did you think this team was going to go 82-0 or 0-82, depending on which side of the fence you were pissed off about?
Well, you should see my NHL season in NHL 23 because the Hawks go 82-0 on rookie. Okay.
With the same team?
Yeah, same team. I just adjusted everybody's stats so that they're all 99 overall.
It's just
No, I mean, like you can't be upset with them playing hard-nosed hockey. Like it's good that they're not just letting teams beat them. It's not great that they're going to be winning more games than I want them to because of the way that they're playing, but like at the end of the day, I don't think they're going to be out of the bottom of the like top 10 in the league.
you don't need to be the worst team
Bottom 10 in the league, really. Yeah, you don't need to be the worst team. It just gives you the best chance at first overall, but how often has that happened?
I think it was like
In
twice
the last few years.
Yeah. I think the last two have been, but then it's only like 50.
Was Buffalo the worst team last year?
Yeah. No, it was Montreal then Buffalo.
Oh, Montreal, that's right. That's why they got first.
Yeah. So it's like you just have to be in the bottom 5.
Yeah. If they're bottom 3, that's pretty good. I would love like a top 3 pick, but I mean,
you can't go wrong after like honestly a top 5 pick. You can't go. It doesn't hurt. Obviously, number 1 is golden. Connor Bedard. That's game changer right there. That's
anything
best
can
case
happen.
scenario. That's best case scenario right there. But there's enough talent in this draft where I think in any other draft year, you'd be like, oh, that's the first overall pick this year. Oh, that's the first. You know what I'm saying? Like if those guys that are projected to go top 5 had their own draft class, they would be the first overall pick in their particular draft class. So that's a good thing. Like you don't have to be, the worst team in the league. So if you're bitching about this, stop. Enjoy it.
Yeah, maybe the Hawks make the playoffs.
This is much better hockey than no, don't go there. Let's not do that. But it's like it's much better hockey than what we were honestly expecting. Granted, it's only 3 games, but still enjoy it while it lasts.
3 games.
Enjoy it while it lasts because it could change fairly quickly. Do you have any other takeaways from the game so far?
Oh, I love I wrote down the Patrick Kane quote to Seth Jones with the "What the fuck are you doing?" in the Colorado game. I forgot about that. He's like, "What was he doing?" I mean, we're on the power play and he's outside the zone. I guess he was just nervous that they're going to score a shorty, but it was kind of funny. Kaner just goes palms up, like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, there was a couple times that first game too against Colorado, that I'm watching Taves and Kane's face, and I'm like, "Oh man, they are regretting not putting that trade request in already."
Yeah,
I think the first 3 games is going to kind of keep them in Chicago for a little bit longer.
Yeah, they keep that kind of play up. they're going to be out sooner than we want. Because hey, we're not trying to win a lot of games here. We're going to have to trade you.
So looking ahead at the schedule coming up, the next 3 games, they have the home opener tonight against Detroit. Detroit is 2-0-1. I guess first let me ask you this. Does this game mean anything to you like it has in the past?
No, not really.
Like
I don't know. I kind of like Detroit.
I wouldn't go as far as saying I like Detroit.
I don't hate them.
It's like there used to be the time when you get the schedule for the year, you find when they play Detroit, and you pencil that down in as I am going all out and just fuck this team, fuck everybody on there. Detroit sucks and all that kind of stuff. And now it's like, oh, they're playing Detroit.
Yeah.
Maybe
I don't like David Perron. Fuck that guy.
David Perron.
He's on Detroit. I still want them to beat Detroit. It's just not much of a rivalry when they're in the other conference.
Doesn't have that flair anymore.
Yeah, if we're not able to knock them out of the playoffs or keep them out of the playoffs in our own conference, it's kind of like, all right.
I know. I think we both agree that St. Louis is probably the new rival for the Hawks. But at this time right now, and the Hawks aren't being good, is it really fair to even say we have a rival? Or do you still kind of want that rivalry to kind of as one of those like, hey, at least we got this going, to look forward to these kind of games?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure when they do play St. Louis, with the way that the Hawks are playing now, where they're playing the body, and St. Louis is kind of a big team too. That's probably going to be a game where a lot of guys are going to get really rough. You're going to see a lot of scraps, maybe a lot after the whistle kind of shit. Definitely happening.
Yeah, so you'll probably
Bennington's going to swing a stick at somebody or fake a punch.
And I hope somebody just comes up. Wouldn't it be awesome if the first person to finally just when Bennington does the fake punch and then somebody finally actually hits him for it? It's a Hawk.
Yeah, Max Domi just takes him out. He fake swings his stick at him. Domi swings his stick right back and just cracks him.
Hey, you saw what he did to Connor Murphy, and apparently they're friends. So
yeah, dude, get him up for the rivalry. Yeah, because I guess he played in Montreal because otherwise, what team has he played for that had a pretty big rival? He started in Montreal, so I don't know. I don't remember what he did there, but jeez.
All right, so Friday be Detroit 2-0-1. Probably going to see Peter Mrazek in net again for that one after almost a week off.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm
6 days
excited.
Off.
A very rested team. It's a relaxed team who had a team bonding in LA after the San Jose game. They stayed in California for an extra day or two, and
cool
and stuff. So I'll be really excited to see. Then on Sunday, Seattle and Eddie Olczyk come back to town. Well, I guess not Eddie Olczyk, but Seattle Kraken's in town. They're 1-2.
He'll be announcing it.
Yeah, 1-2-2 right now. It's Seattle again. It's a team. I don't know.
They're young in the right ways. They have veterans because of expansion draft.
This will be interesting. It's interesting to see how they play, how the Hawks play them too, because this is another team that's kind of floating in the same territory as Chicago right now. I think they have a little bit more upside potential than Chicago. But
I mean, they have some of the guys in place for their future already, like Matty Beniers and Shane Wright. And Beniers is still just a point shy of being a point per game player, all the time. He's gonna be so good.
Seattle's kind of where I'm wishing the Hawks will be next year.
That'd be great.
They kind of know who's going to be the force, who they're going to be their core, but they're not quite there yet.
I don't know if Seattle really has they have their two centers, Shane Wright and Beniers, but who's on the back end? Like, who's the big guys for them there?
So you're saying the Hawks are better off because we got our back end already.
We also have possible goaltenders of the future too.
Boom, boom, boom. We have all three zones already kind of taken care of.
Yeah, and we got Nazar. There's
Which,
like a
by the way, we
huge
forgot to mention for housekeeping there. He actually is having surgery.
Yeah.
He's out. There was still undisclosed, but he's going to have surgery and is a potential it could be season ending.
Yikes.
So that's not good. But again, no rush for him. Get healthy, have a year at Michigan.
Yeah, it would have been pretty neat if he played in Michigan, because one of the top picks is a Michigan kid, Adam Fantilli.
Yeah.
And if we ended up getting him and having Nazar and him already like playing together, because this kid, he's also a center though too. But I mean, somebody could move to wing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of one of the bummers. But I was really hoping to get to really follow him this year in college too, which just sucks.
Yeah.
But,
and he was supposed to get top line minutes too in Michigan.
Yeah.
Which is even more frustrating that he goes down. But it's even more frustrating. I think the most frustrating thing is just not knowing exactly what the injury is. Like,
yeah. It's very like hush hush.
Yeah. So it's just funny too. Speculation, everybody. It's gone. I've seen he's a shoulder injury to an ankle to ACL to sports hernia. So they pretty much almost cover the entire body about potential injuries. So it's got to be something.
He needs a whole new nervous system.
And then on Tuesday, will be the last game we preview here really quick. The Florida Panthers come to town, who is a cup favorite still, I think.
Yeah, I don't think anything's changed through 4 games max for some teams.
Yeah, they're 3-1 right now at this moment. I don't know when they play next. They're not playing tonight. Okay. Matter. But yeah, they're 3-1. They've been looking really good too. Paul Maurice, I think people were a little bit concerned about how him coming into the fold with his game, just especially how his tenure with the Jets ended. So they were kind of wondering if he was going to actually bring him down a bit, but so far so good. Again, it is early, so a lot of this could change.
I mean, yeah, Florida's going to be a dangerous team. They just have all the pieces, except for the fact that Aaron Ekblad went down. So he's going to be out for a few weeks. So their defense was already a little bit questionable, since they don't have Uyghur. But apparently, I saw a lot of things where people were like, "Yeah, Uyghur's such a defensive liability. It's fine that we don't have him." I was like, "Oh, okay." I guess I didn't really I didn't watch him a lot, but his stats showed that
Ekblad. I was saving this, for NHL talk, but he lower body injury. He's on the IR, expected to be out until at least November 12th.
Yeah,
so that's rough.
That's only a few weeks, but
he missed a lot of time last year too, didn't he?
A lot of people he was in the Norris race and then he went down towards the end of the season. I don't think he played in the playoffs.
No, he didn't.
So yeah, it's he's just somebody that they really need to stay healthy. Yeah. I'm sure they'll do fine, but they could be at another level if that guy's actually healthy. Still only 26 years old.
Bananas. I feel like he's been in the league for 20 years.
Yeah, it's wild. He played 61 games last year, and I don't think any of them were playoffs.
All right. Do you have anything else for Hawk Talk?
No, just excited,
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be a good game against Detroit that makes you be like, hey, fuck Detroit.
Pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just because Detroit's playing, it's fuck Detroit, but it's not like fuck Detroit. And
I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of Detroit sucks chants. That is my favorite thing that happens all the time, no matter if Detroit's playing us or not.
But I would say that's a sign too that the rivalry is kind of dead, because that doesn't happen as much anymore. At games, you don't hear the random Detroit sucks chant. You'll have the occasional drunk guy in the 300 section. You'll hear from one person, but when this was a decent rivalry, it would pick up, and
the teams were pretty good against each other too. The teams are both not exactly top of the league or at the moment. if one team's top of the league, then it's still kind of like a pretty hot rivalry because it's like you want to beat the shit out of that team.
I will say it's nice though too that if this is the end of the rivalry, like if it is officially dead, God, it feels good that we got the last victory in it with the 2013.
2013, baby.
All right, switching over to NHL talk. We'll do some injuries really quick since we mentioned Ekblad. Jake Muzzin goes on the IR with a neck injury. He's out at least until the 24th.
Isn't Matt Murray already out too?
Matt Murray, yeah, he actually got hurt in the pregame warm-up or pregame skate. Pulled his groin. He's on the IR, expected to be out until at least November 12th. And man, Toronto's fucked with their situation. They have 50 NHL contracts, so they have to get rid of somebody to even make room for another contract. They have 2 goalies signed on contract. 2 other goalies signed. One was injured, but he was able to play their last game against Arizona. And then the other one's a 19-year-old kid who's playing in Sweden, which you're not gonna do anything to bring him over. Yeah. So it's like they need somebody to like, hey, can you take one of these contracts? They need a future consideration. Somebody like I'm surprised somebody hasn't been like Wayne Simmons.
Hey.
Wayne Simmons, give us Wayne Simmons in like a third or a fourth, and we'll.
That doesn't really give him enough like cap wiggle room, probably. He's on like league bin.
But it gives them the roster spot. That's the main thing because they have with the IR stuff, LTIR, they have the cap to work with. They need a roster spot so they can bring in a goalie.
Oh, well, sucks to suck. Yeah. Cap geniuses.
Ristolainen, lower body, he's out until at least October 24th. Tyler Bertuzzi, upper body, it's out to be expected until November 19th. Nick Schmaltz, December 1st. Connor Brown, lower body, November 19th.
Patrick Laine.
That one's tough.
Yeah. Columbus hasn't been playing too hot.
Not the funny thing is, but he scores a goal, and their announcers were talking about how he's going to get 40. He's aiming for 40 this year, and literally like 10 minutes after their announcers say that he leaves the game with the injury.
Yikes. Jinx.
Yeah. Let's see. Landeskog is out until January 12th. He just had knee surgery.
He didn't even start the season though, so it wasn't like anything.
So I mean, they're already out. Darren Helm, undisclosed, out until at least the 21st. So today he could potentially be back. And then Jacob
Rana.
Thank you. He is out as he has entered the NHL PA like substance program. Not much details came out regarding what he's in there for. It did say that he has to get approved by the program before he is allowed to come back. So whatever he's dealing with, hopefully he's able to get a grip of it and hang on and be better, feel better. I totally
be better.
Yeah, be better. God, I'm such an asshole, especially if it's something bad, but it's good to. What I will say though, it's really good to see more players using this. Yeah. I think Carey Price kind of put it on the map and kind of made it as like a, hey, this is for you, use it and help yourself kind of thing. So I'm glad to see that. Let's see. Moving on to other NHL news. Gary Bettman said after a 4-hour phone conversation with meeting with the Board of Governors that the players are almost paid up on the escrow. It could be paid off by the end of this season. If it does get paid off this year, the cap next year will go up by $4 million. If it doesn't, it only goes up $1 million. So that will be awesome. Hopefully the players decide to just pay it off and be done with it so people can get paid.
More cap space for the Hawks to use.
To not use.
No, to take on the bad contracts that teams need to unload.
But yeah, so
some team out there is not going to have $4 million is not going to be enough for like Vegas.
Well, let's see. If teams have $4 million right now, Vegas would be at, what is it? Right now it's 90 or no, 82. So 86 would be 86 and a half would be the new.
Yeah.
Vegas is still 10 million over. Montreal is 8 million over. Tampa Bay is 5 million over. Washington's 4, Edmonton Oilers 3, Toronto 2, Philadelphia like 1, or no, like 300,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
Teams need to learn how to, teams need to learn how to spend their money.
I mean, I think they do. They're right up to the cap, so they're spending it as wise as possible. So whatever, cap increase, that's great. What are your early season surprises?
Ooh. Tampa Bay sucking.
They suck. What is their record?
They are 1-3
Yikes.
with a -4 goal differential at the moment.
Played a lot of hockey over it. And actually, they haven't really played a lot of hockey over the last 3 years. It's been shortened seasons.
Yeah.
Huh.
Marc-Andre Fleury sucks.
Yes. Fleury is not playing well. I mean, Minnesota as a whole is not doing great. They let up 20 goals in their first 3 games, and they're leading the Central Division to the tank.
Yeah, who would have thought that we'd have to worry about Minnesota in the battle for Bedard?
I don't know, man. Like they're supposed to be a good defensive team, always have been, and all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, no, we just don't want to play defense. Like Matt Zuccarello came out and said it looks like we play defense like a fucking junior team sometimes. It's like, oh, okay, here you go, Mats. Arizona has more points than them, or we have more points than them. I guess one of my early season surprises, which I don't think was much of a surprise, because I kind of hinted towards it, but Jake Ottinger just being a beast, and
so good.
Like 3 goals against in 3 games. He's a monster. They're 3-0. I don't know what the score of their game is currently. They're playing right now, and they're 1-1 against the Leafs, but he is just really fucking good. Ever since the playoffs last year, it seems like he's like, oh, I'm going to just shut the fucking league down now. And it's like, okay, now we got a new contender for fucking the Vezina now. And it's not fair because their best players aren't making the most money on their team. Their most expensive players are like not good, like not that great. Jamie Benn, Tyler Seguin might be having a little bit better start to the year, but God damn it, dude. Like, it's not fair. You can't just bring guys in that are really young. They're going to be really good when your older guys aren't getting it done. Like, what the fuck? The Hawks had stuff like that, but we always traded those guys away to keep the older core together. And then you see guys like fucking Nick Schmaltz is doing okay. Tara Vinan's doing great in Carolina. Fucking Boquist is going to start playing great in Columbus. Ryan Hartman's doing good in Minnesota. Like all these guys that we've drafted in the first few rounds are like all gone and all doing good somewhere else. It's really fucking annoying. Oh yeah, Panarin. Don't want to mention it. We had him, remember?
League leader.
Yeah. Jesus fucking Christ.
How about early Norris candidate Shane Gostisbehere leading the league?
Oh yeah,
defenseman with 5 points. I mean, he's also tied with 3 other guys, but hey, he's still up there.
Central Division, man. Everybody knew it. It's the most competitive division. How about Philly? Like they just lost recently, but they started the season 3-0, and it was just like Torts just burned his team up. Just saying they have no fucking, like, they have nothing good. And then they win the first 3 games. And one of those games is against fucking Tampa. And all of a sudden, Carter Hart is now, like, one of the top goalies in the league in just stats currently, because we're only a few games in. But it's just like, oh, okay.
Torts is the master of negging, you know?
Yeah.
How about this? How about Vancouver setting an NHL record for the first team to lose the first 4 games by blowing multi-point or multi-goal leads.
Unbelievable.
Amazing. Bruce, there it is. They're
I
tied right now with Minnesota, and I was hoping they were up 2-0 at one point, but they weren't. They were up. The most they were up was 2-1.
Hey, I mean, they can still go up. They can still go up by a couple of goals and then lose.
But yeah, but what? So what would you rather have? Vancouver to keep that streak going, or Minnesota to finally get a win?
What do you mean keep that streak going, or Minnesota finally get a win? That both of that it would be the same thing.
Oh, you're right. Fuck,
It would be Vancouver to win.
Yeah, Vancouver win. Sorry.
I was like, wait. Both of those things can happen. So
one day. My apologies.
I don't know. Like, I want everybody else to do better so that the Hawks can get a higher pick, but I don't know. Dallas, man. If Ottinger keeps that up the entire year, they might finish ahead of Colorado. Because I don't think Colorado has the goaltending this year. They lost a couple pieces, and I mean, early season Vezina favorite Jake Ottinger, and goddamn, dude, it's giving me like 2012 like Jonathan Quick vibes, where it's just like doesn't matter what you're gonna do, like he's gonna stop it, and it helps that he's actually like 6'5" versus Quick's like 5'10".
All right, out of the 3 truly undefeated teams, Calgary, Dallas, and Carolina, who do you think is the last to lose a game?
I don't know. It's probably going to be like Carolina. They're just such a complete team. But I don't know who everybody's playing like in their next few games. Oh, Carolina's playing Edmonton tonight. Edmonton, Jack Campbell just can't fucking figure it out apparently while he's there.
And Calgary plays Buffalo tonight.
He'll do okay. And Calgary plays Buffalo. Watch them fucking lose to Buffalo. Buffalo is good at the start of the season, and then that's it.
Dallas is up or is tied 1-1 right now, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
All right, and then out of the winless teams,
who gets the first dub?
San Jose, Vancouver, Minnesota. I mean, I think you gotta go Minnesota.
Yeah.
I did not realize.
I can't believe San Jose
is that bad.
Yeah, yeah, they're not good. That's all I got.
I knew they weren't going to be good, but like, I didn't see
Couture, that. Like, who else? Timo Meyer, Tomas Hertl. Like they got rid of Brent Burns. I thought that was going to be like an addition by subtraction, but I mean, it's more of just like, hey, like now we don't have that cap.
I mean, John Carlson's tied for the lead in points right now for them.
John Carlson?
I hear Carlson. I literally said that, and I was like, I hope I didn't say what I think I just said. Eric Carlson, EK65, baby.
Well, I'm sure Vancouver probably ends up getting the first win, just because like they've shown that like they can score. They just give up the leads. I guess like Minnesota did have like a 7-6 game against like LA. But
I also want to say this.
Vancouver's actually had leads.
Yeah. I love San Jose's New jerseys.
Oh, reverse retros? Want to talk about them?
1 second, though. I hate the all teal for the home. Absolutely hate that.
Just head to toe.
I hate it.
It's not really teal. It's like very
green. Whatever that green blue bullshit is. Like
it's a lot.
You put black pants on there to break it up a bit. It's fucking filthy.
Yeah. But it's not for you.
It doesn't matter.
It's for the San Jose fans.
And I think they would agree with me.
They look like sharks out there.
But what I think we can all agree is that reverse retros came out.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of swings and a lot of misses, I think. I haven't fully looked at them yet. I was saving it for when we started recording.
Oh, really? You haven't even looked?
I've kind of seen a couple of them that were leaked.
I like them. I like a bunch of them.
So, all right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk a little bit about them, and then we're gonna do 3 hot, 3 not. So we'll each pick our 3 favorite, and then we'll also pick our 3 that we don't like the most.
Okay. Yeah. Word.
All right. So speaking of
Fuck,
San
I
Jose,
gotta find the post with like all of the jerseys. You can't take that one.
I'm
I
not.
take San
Oh,
Jose.
okay. But fine. Let's start with we'll start doing our picks right now. So you can go first.
Yeah, San Jose with that fucking California Golden Seal style with the Sharks.
As long as
As makes me
I've
want
known
one.
you, you've been all about the Seals.
Yeah. I just love it. I love the colors, and it's crazy to me because it's like it's the teal and yellow, and they also had at one point green and yellow, but I love the teal and yellow. I think it looks so cool, and it's just chef's kiss. I fucking love the style. It's so like 70s. It's fucking the greatest. So yeah, that Sharks jersey is amazing. I wish I'd liked somebody on the Sharks because I told my wife about it, and she was like, "Oh, like who would you get if like you could?" And I was like, "I don't like the Sharks though. Like
the blank one.
I don't really care. I could get a blank one. Fuck, good.
But
it's like, so much cooler to have like somebody on the back.
I'm in the same boat as you with my
Jeremy Roenick. I'll get Roenick on the back. That'd be really weird, right? He never wore the jersey.
I don't like that when people put names of players that never wore the jersey. It's like why I could have bought the reverse retro you're wearing right now.
Yeah.
With Taves on it, but he never wore it.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. He's on the team during the time that they actually wore it, but he never wore it. It's very strange.
Yeah. But I'm in the same boat with you. Like, I wish I had a player on this team that I was like, oh, I want to buy his jersey.
I mean, I would get an EK65 though.
Good. Ooh. Yeah, you just talked yourself into it.
Yeah, dude.
my number one is Florida.
Florida's is nice. I just love it's the sun. It's the sunshine, baby. And it's another like light blue. Ooh.
That's just the secondary logo. They got rid of it when they went to these stupid New Jerseys. And
the soccer ones.
Yeah, and then they brought that logo back. It's on the helmet now. And now that they're making it part of the crest, I hope they realize that people love that and they try to work it back into the jersey. Like it's so nice, and I want one of these jerseys.
Yeah, dude.
All right, who is your first not?
Oh, my first not? Oh,
yeah,
I didn't know we were going not. I was looking for my second fave.
Keep on your toes.
My first not. My first not is fuck. Shit, dude. My first not. Phillies suck. I probably Philadelphia.
Myers.
I don't really care for it.
Do the Cooperalls do anything for you though?
That is actually really funny though. That's true. I forgot. They are going to be wearing the Cooperalls.
But only in warm up. It's so stupid. Just do it the whole game. Fuck it.
It's gonna look weird because it's just gonna look like a bunch of guys running around on the ice, like they're playing fucking floor hockey or something. It's gonna be strange. It's not a good looking jersey. It's kind of lame. Flyers don't really have much to work with any of their jerseys ever. Like the logo's pretty just plain and boring. Colors are okay. It kind of just makes me think of Halloween. Like I don't know. Yeah, I would just go Philly with the first one.
Okay. For my first not, I'm going with Calgary.
Yeah, I was just looking at that one.
I don't know. That the extra diagonal line on the bottom there coming up. Like I understand that was like the jersey and all that.
What's it supposed to be? Like, is it leading to the logo or is it like it's weird? It's strange. Not a fan.
All right, your next hot.
I kind of really like Arizona's.
Oh, dude, so good.
It's no one ever has used, I think, like the burnt sienna like color.
Well, so I'm reading here, making this the first time that this trending earth tone color has ever been worn by an NHL team, according to Adidas.
And then it still has like that desert like lower part with like the mountains and the cactus, and Arizona's just got fire jerseys all the time, man. Like I wish they had somebody on the team, same as the Sharks, like that I really liked.
I
They can't
wish.
get a Phil Kessel jersey with
Yeah.
this because he's not on the team for this one. And we just talked about that, you know. Like I can get a Jeremy Roenick. This guy. What if I just did that? Like all the reverse retros that he never wore but played on those teams.
I secretly was hoping they were gonna bust out like a Arizona State jersey for the reverse retro, just it's like lean into the joke.
That would be really good.
All right, my next hot, I'm going with the Islanders.
Yes.
They kind of forgot that they were doing reverse retro the first time around, and they just put a darker blue on their jersey. So it's nice to see that they brought back the Fisherman, and your text was the best, that they should wear it against the Sharks, the Kraken, and
Vancouver. That's the only time they should wear those jerseys.
All right, your second not.
Detroit. It's just lame.
What the fuck?
And here's the issue that I have too, is like the Hawks is kind of just the same.
So can I'm just gonna say that now then. So you take Detroit, I'm taking Chicago.
They're the exact same fucking jerseys. The Hawks just have like a white stripe, but they both literally just say Chicago and Detroit in a black stripe in the middle of the chest. The other thing, since you're saying the Hawks, did you notice that the Hawks, it has the logo on just one shoulder? Like, what is that?
So
that's really weird.
We were talking on another group text about the jerseys, and they're like, I don't know, what is Detroit and Chicago thinking? I'm like, well, we know what Chicago's doing. They're not the logo issue, blah, blah, blah. Like, they're going to do everything probably there. I don't know what Detroit's excuse is. Like,
I don't know, man.
I really hope that this isn't one of those things like these companies, because obviously the Hawks aren't the ones designing these jerseys. Like, this is Adidas coming in designing it, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they're taking input from the team, but I hope that this isn't a trend of like the Hawks aren't going to have a cool jersey until they give into the change the logo crowd.
Yeah.
I really hope that's not what we're going for.
Like, if this whole thing is just like history never repeats, it's like, okay.
Which
like that's like their like slogan, but like a lot of these jerseys are like from the past. So
how about
I really
literally doing the same jersey. History doesn't repeat. There's their whole.
Oh, it's the same jersey as last season. I didn't even realize that.
Like almost exactly the same.
I want like a Chicago flag colored Blackhawks jersey.
Yes.
Like,
why?
How if you look at Montreal, they literally have the exact same colors as what the Hawks would have if it was a Chicago flag jersey.
Look at Colorado. They essentially took the Colorado flag colors.
Yeah. Well, isn't that what the old Rockies logo
but but it's like they took the Rockies.
It is the flag though.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
that's sick too.
I
don't know if that's my third, but
I don't know. Ever since they did that warm-up jersey with the Chicago colors, I've wanted them to make a jersey like that. All right, your last hot.
It's so childish, but I loved this jersey a long time ago. It's Tampa Bay Lightning.
I knew you
or it's the Storm jersey. Dude, that thing is cool as fuck. It reminds me, it's the same thing as like that Wild Wing jersey that Anaheim Ducks had. It's like cartoony as shit, but it was like cool as fuck when I was a kid. I was like, yeah.
let's cliff note that, because that's gonna go into my not what you're just talking about. I'm gonna save it for I'm picking for my not.
Okay.
My last hot, I'm torn between like 3, 4
Seattle.
Actually. I'm gonna go Washington.
Okay.
As my hot. I fucking love that the black jersey with it.
I don't like
really.
It. I don't like the Screaming Eagle. I think it's fucking stupid.
Dude, I think it's awesome, and the fact that the jersey that Ovechkin wore as a rookie is now a retro is hilarious to me.
They shouldn't give him the C during that whenever they wear it. So it's just like when he was a rookie.
All right, your last knot.
Last knot. Shit. It's gonna be difficult. What's a good knot? I don't know. Minnesota is the same. But Columbus is bad. Okay, so I have like a side by side of Columbus and Dallas, and they're the exact same almost style jersey. It's just like the shoulders that run down the sleeves as like a stripe, black front, and then just like lower stripes. But yeah, that's just boring. It's really boring.
Model of the Dallas got a really long neck too. Holy shit.
The girl that's doing
like,
Dallas.
Literally, looking like up and like making her look even like.
Yeah. I don't know if we're like. Yeah, I think we're looking at the same picture. What about you? What do you think?
What did you go with? Columbus?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Columbus. I think it's just boring.
All right, so going back to what you were bookmarking it about the cartoon, all that, you had Tampa Bay with that, then you had Mighty Wing with Anaheim the year before. Yeah. My last knot is LA because they are fucking cowards for not bringing back the Burger King. They are cowards for not bringing.
So you're just upset with LA, not the jersey.
No, 100%. They are cowards for not giving the people what they want.
I like that. I like LA's jersey though.
So I will put no, I won't take them because it is a nice jersey.
Nashville's the Cyber Panther.
I like the Cyber Panther.
Cyber Predator.
I like Pittsburgh too. The Robo.
Yeah.
Fuck.
That's my old Oak Park Eagles, man.
I love Edmonton.
I mean, not gonna lie, there's not. I don't like Vegas, but it is very Vegas.
I guess for my
and it glows in the dark.
Yeah,
it glows in the dark.
My last knot's gonna be Toronto, just because it's like, what are you doing?
Isn't that what like their jerseys were for the Winter Classic like a few years ago?
Again, history doesn't repeat itself, so let's essentially take like you. I don't know.
Like it would be great if you want to say history doesn't repeat itself, like do shit that that they've never worn. Do shit the Hawks have never worn. Like get wild with it.
Use the template. Use the template of like a former jersey, like that Winter Classic jersey from the first Hawks Winter Classic, the black with the and whatever. Do that template with the Chicago flag colors. Boom.
Yeah, you can do a red jersey. You can make it a red jersey with just like the light blue in it, like replace like the black or something. Like I don't know. I just one day. I mean, they have to do it at some point, right?
I mean, if they keep this up, I mean, it depends on what the new jersey manufacturer is going to want to do.
Yeah.
Like, I know NBA does it cool. Like, I mean, they have it.
The NBA has like 16 jerseys,
but they do like the city edition, and it's like the Bulls have had the Chicago flag colors. They've had the Chicago theater like font style, like signed font and all that kind of stuff. It's like you can do some cool shit with like stuff from the cities. It's like let's bring it up.
Rep the cities.
Yeah,
that'd be really fucking cool.
So all right, so I think that about does it. Episode 197, Tanner, what do you want to call it? We have to start naming these again because there's no
started something special.
All right, like it.
Oh, Luke Richardson debut. I don't know. Welcome to the team, Jason Dickinson. Oh, it's the LaffyDick line, bro. They're the short-handed killers. The LaffyDick line, bro.
I know what I'm calling it. I know what I'm calling it. It's the LaffyDick line, bro.
Didn't even say it until just now. It's gonna be such a weird title and be like, what the fuck are they talking about?
All right, so for Jarom and Tanner, there's episode 197. It's the LaffyDick line, bro. Make sure to follow us on all social media at WCB Podcast. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all your podcast platforms. 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one.
Hey, Hawks Hawkeye, baby. Let's go. Love you, boys. Bye.
The Windy City Benders Podcast. Subscribe to the show on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and YouTube. And follow the boys on socials at WCB Podcast.